You're watching NFL Daily, and today's show is powered by our friends over at Manscaped. You guys can get 20% off and free shipping on all the incredible men's grooming products at manscaped.com/chat. Remember to use promo code chat as needed as well. Some news that came in earlier today, by the way. How about this? Matt Ryan has been traded to the Indianapolis Colts in a deal that is surprisingly low. The Falcons, and we'll spend time on both these sides here, they done messed up. The Falcons were trying to get Deshaun Watson. They missed out on that. They were going to restructure Matt Ryan's deal, and then they tried to move on. I don't think Matt Ryan liked it all that much, and in the end, they are now getting back just a third-round pick for their former franchise QB. The Falcons are eating $40 million in dead money. They saved just over $8 million. The Colts owe Matt Ryan less than $24 million this year. From the Colts side of it here, by the way, and we'll come back to it, they gave up less for Matt Ryan than what they got back for Carson Wentz. They have added draft capital and upgraded at QB all in one foul swoop, which is kind of crazy from that perspective. Now, Matt Ryan is coming off not his best year. I would also argue the supporting cast was not great in Atlanta. The offensive line was bad. I know Russell Gage just got paid, but it was Gage, Pitts, and a bunch of guys you've never really heard of, plus Cordero Patterson, who's fun, but was used more as a running back. I think Matt Ryan will be in a good fit in Indianapolis, and it gives them a veteran option that's an upgrade over Wentz. The two losers for me, by the way, are both the Falcons for botching this entire thing and the Commanders. The Commanders gave up all that to get Carson Wentz, who was not good last year, hasn't been good in a while, when they could have gotten a better, although older QB for less in Matt Ryan if they had just been a little bit more patient. They allegedly didn't want to wait, and now they're at where they're at. I'll make this point too. The Falcons have messed up the last year or so really, really badly. Like, they did not handle this right. They passed on franchise QBs last year in a much better class. Justin Fields, held even Mac Jones to take a tight end because their plan was to win and build around Matt Ryan. They knew the contract was a big deal. They were going to restructure it each year, keep it down, and try to win football games. Now their roster is terrible, and they only got a third-round pick back for Matt Ryan because they didn't maximize his leverage by shopping him earlier in the offseason until Matt Ryan wanted out. The Falcons, to be blunt, really screwed this up. This has not gone the way the Falcons needed it to go. Now, they did sign Marcus Mariota, by the way, 2-year deal. We don't know the details, but I would still think they should be in the market for more QB help. So who won the Matt Ryan trade? This is the pinned comment on today's video. F for the Falcons or C for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know who you guys think won it right now in the comment section. Let's talk about a Jimmy G trade now, who in theory, along with Baker Mayfield, is the next best QB available on the trade market. Now, the problem here for San Francisco is the destinations, the options for Jimmy G are rapidly dwindling. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. By the way, there's also a report from Pro Football Talk that the Niners have been telling teams they have an offer of 2 second-round picks, which, okay, I don't really know if that's accurate in any capacity. Now, I think Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder surgery is a negative for teams too, but I find it tough to believe if a team offered 2 second-rounders for Jimmy G, that they wouldn't take that they want more than 2 second-round picks. That's kind of a good offer with the way things have gone as of late. So I want you to be honest here. Do you think the Niners have an offer of 2 second-round picks? 1 for yes, they do. 2 for no, they do not. Make your predictions for me in the comments right now. Jimmy G is coming off a solid year. We know who he is at this point in the NFL season, or in his NFL career. We know that he's good, but he's not elite by any stretch of the imagination. There's always more that you want if he's your QB. But for certain teams, the Commanders were one of them, it seemed like, they were really going to be in the market for QB help. They didn't want to wait on Jimmy G, and maybe it hurt both teams in the end. Now, I think there are really 3 fits that maybe make sense. The Saints have brought back Jameis Winston. I assume we're taking the Falcons out of contention for for Garoppolo after signing Marcus Mariota. Maybe that's too quick there. The Panthers, desperate need of a QB. The Seahawks, well, he's better than Drew Lock, but is he really good enough? And with the Niners trade him to a division opponent, maybe if they just want the draft capital. The dark horse there is Houston, but I kind of think that they want to roll with Davis Mills. So all of a sudden, after we linked him to every team out there, the Browns, the Steelers, the Commanders, etc., where does Jimmy G go? The handling of this by John Lynch, fair or not, is going to be criticized pretty heavily. Who do you think will trade for Garoppolo? Let me know right now in the comments. Let's talk Terron Armstead now. He is visiting the Miami Dolphins, and I would not be surprised if in the next 24 hours he signs with Miami. This would be a big-time addition for the organization. I do wonder just how much he'll command on the open market. Normally, starting caliber left tackles do not wait until the second week of free agency to get signed. Armstead, though, allegedly might have been waiting for the Deshaun Watson deal to potentially go back to the New Orleans Saints. But I also don't think he's going to command quite as much as he might have thought he would. When he's healthy, he is a franchise left tackle. He's not always healthy. He has missed a lot of games every season. He has not played a full 16-game season in his career. As he gets older, those injury red flags only continue to grow. You slot Armstead in at the left tackle spot, and all of a sudden, feel a lot better about this Dolphins offensive line. Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson could compete at right tackle along with Jesse Davis, and Hunt and Davis could compete at right guard as well. Maybe you try to go get Tyler Linderbaum, and all of a sudden the offensive line starts to look better and better in Miami as they continue to overhaul that whole offense under Mike McDaniel. So what do you think? Will the Dolphins get Terron Armstead? Y for yes or N for no? Make your predictions for me right now in the comment section. A little fancy graphic here for you guys is today's show presented by Manscaped, and you can get the Ultra Premium Collection at 20% off and free shipping when you go over to manscaped.com/chat and you use promo code CHAT. This is body wash, body spray, deodorant, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, because let's be honest, guys, we don't need to use 2 things when one thing gets the job done. Lip balm as well. Check the comment section and the description. We've got that link and promo code in there for you guys, manscaped.com/chat. Let's talk about producer Jack's Patriots here. Leonard Fournette is visiting New England, and that's weird, if I may be honest. This is a fit that makes me go, interesting. The running back market in general is always very tricky. Is like some players get paid, some don't. Organizations always want to throw big money at guys. I get all of that. Fournette is coming off a really good year for the New England, for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good production there. But the Patriots don't need running back help. They're in pretty good shape with the organization overall. They've got Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson. They brought back James White. Do you want 4 guys you can play? Or are you going to trade away Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson? This fit is weird to me in the end. Now, I think Fournette's one of the top 25-ish best free agents left. But who do you guys think is the best one out there in the open market? Let me know in the comment section, and if you haven't already, go check out our video on the top NFL free agent stuff. We did that this morning. Shout out my boy Mitchell Renz for putting it all together. 30 guys. It'll change soon, but there are still some big-time names out there on the open market. So make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and Rumble as well. Let's run now through the latest free agency moves, beginning with mostly today ones. Lorenzo Carter, a 1-year deal to the Atlanta Falcons, gives them some much-needed edge options because they got nothing at that position. Matt Breida to the New York Giants. There's your new RB2, maybe RB3, depending on what they really do in terms of the draft, and maybe Saquon at that particular position as well. Trent Brown is re-signing with the New England Patriots on a 2-year deal. We don't know the exact details at this moment, but he will be starting for them. The Los Angeles Chargers have continued their spending spree, bringing in Gerald Everett, 2 years, $12 million. He got 8 of that guaranteed, so could they move on from him? Yeah, sure, after a year, but he's probably there for both years as they get some extra help at tight end. Former Raiders linebacker Corey Littleton, released by them, now signing with the Carolina Panthers, became one of the highest paid off-ball linebackers a few years ago. Rams to Raiders, to be blunt, disaster signing. Now he's in Carolina. La'el Collins, this one, 3 years, 30, but also reported as more like 2 years, 20. So, hey, cool. It's the same deal he had for the Cowboys, and it'll bring down his cap hit in the short term, and he gets the same money with a new destination as the Cincinnati Bayou Bengals continue to add former LSU players. Rashad Penny is back with the Seattle Seahawks, a 1-year, $5.75 million deal. It's a decent amount of money for a running back, but remember, the Seahawks are going to run the football a lot this year, so that actually kind of does make some sense. All right, Jameis Winston in a, I'm going to argue, surprisingly large contract. 2 years, $28 million. That's $14 million per year. He gets $21 million of that guaranteed this season, so they could move on next year if they wanted to, but that feels rather unlikely at this point. That is, he is our starting QB until a guy we inevitably draft takes his job type of money. One of the most recent ones, Zach Pascal, a 1-year deal. We don't know the details there. Probably pretty cheap as there's some overlap there with the Colts and Eagles regimes in recent years. And most recently, Marcus Mariota, a 2-year deal to the Atlanta Falcons. We don't know the money. My guess it's kind of high-end backup, low-end starter money as he gets to reunite with Arthur Smith in NFL free agency as the Falcons begin a bit of an alteration from their previously planned situation in free agency.